First of all, thank you for joining us today, for spending time. First question, can you introduce yourself? What should people know about you?
So my name is Patti. I'm a county supervisor, a local business owner, and honestly, more importantly, a dad. I'm proud to have been a baseball coach. I've participated in sports in my history, as well as many challenges and ventures that have brought me around this great country of ours. But Stockton is home. It's where I grew up. It's where I went to high school. It's where I've chosen to build a business and raise my family.
And what made you want to run for mayor?
Us business people, we might get involved and coach the Little League, as I'm proud to have done. We're busy going through recessions and marketing and working hard and sometimes bypassing our own paychecks to build a business. But we really never get involved in local government. And if you know the fighter Mike Tyson, I brought him to town. We did a lot of charity work. And when he's leaving town, he says, "You business people complain too much. You need to run for office, Tommy." And I hadn't even thought about that at all. And then he started to realize that, we really do complain a lot. We have challenges in business just to stay in business and go through sometimes the vacillations and the challenges for permitting and for even advancing businesses and things that come out of the state that are new mandates and new requirements that start to limit and restrict businesses. So I'm proud to have taken on this challenge of what can we do that's going to be different, better, or more to help create jobs, to help stimulate our economy and improve our community, which is what I was doing as working for local nonprofits and making a difference in the community in other ways as well.
And like I mentioned, economic development, a big topic, a big kind of issue, if you will, for voters. What is the top issue for you and why?
So top issue, of course, public safety and the unsheltered homeless are right there, and they're synonymous. They're right there, top tier. And I'm very proud of the headway we've taken in this county, the partnerships we built with the city, working with city council members, working with all regions of our county and structuring the support network that we finally have in place. And it's taken a while to kind of bring everything together and realize what are best practices. There are failures. The housing first model is not the end all. That doesn't solve the unsheltered homeless. So addressing and looking at the shelter first approach, bringing people in with support services, behavioral health treatment, mental health services, drug treatment. How about just bringing people back together with their family once you help stabilize them? So these are all effective measures that have happened in other places that I've gone and studied and been able to, in partnership, build that out here in San Joaquin County. And this just in the last couple of weeks, we're finally building and establishing the structure. As we build the shelter beds, we're going to have the support structure, the crisis response teams. All of this is coming into action right now, and I'm really proud of that accomplishment.
You mentioned crime there as well. I do want to spend some time talking about that. A top concern for many voters is crime in the city. How would you use the somewhat limited authority of the mayor's office to make any change when it comes to crime?
Well, you want to know what stops crime? Jobs, a paycheck. So right now, as we speak, I'm looking at career education training. I've got public-private partnerships with our local businesses. I used to be on the board of directors for the Stockton Builders Exchange, now San Joaquin County Builders Exchange. We represent hundreds of local businesses, and guess what? They all say the same thing. There's nobody to hire. There's people without skills. So if we can partner with the private industry and create a job training program that's a gateway to local jobs, I am certain will lessen the crime. You start to lessen your graffiti. You start to lessen some of the local disparities and hardships that many people will experience until they have an opportunity to earn a paycheck and really start to build. Because listen, you can get hired, and we have to share this message. You can get hired and work, and you could start off in the very beginning stages of a job, and 20 years later, you may own the company. Or some period of time, 5, 6, 8 years later, you may decide that, you know what, I've saved up some money and I'm going to do this on my own and build your own company based on experience. And that's the great American free market enterprise that I believe we need to promote more so than any other mechanism of change and influence in a person's life.
And on this similar page with crime, police officers in the city have been stretched thin. Stockton PD dealing with a staffing shortage, along with many other departments as well across the nation. How would you work with council colleagues, city manager, and the police union to recruit more officers and make Stockton PD a department people want to work for?
Well, you want to be a gold standard that draws talent in. You shouldn't be the beginning entry that people leave from. We had a situation going on in the county. Same thing, our deputies, we did a little analysis the sheriff brought to my attention. I was chairman at the time. And we found we were losing, and these are, you spend a couple $100,000 training. Forget about the difficult recruiting process. So you have a valuable asset, somebody that's willing to serve the community and step up and be part of it. It's not everybody that does this or can do it. So when they're 25% below the median, what I did as I spearheaded this, and we brought it forward and the board approved, but we opened up their contract, brought them up 25% right to the middle. Not the highest paid, but they certainly should not have been the lowest paid. And from there, we started getting lateral hires. Instead of hemorrhaging officers and deputies, we started drawing them back. And that, to me, is a vital key. So you want to be a gold standard. You want to pay fairly so that you're in a competitive market. You don't want somebody driving 8 miles in any direction to an adjoining city and getting more money. So it really does come down to a support network. We have a fantastic chief. We have a city manager. And currently, the mayor, the city manager, the city council, they've addressed this. And the Stockton Police Department have gotten a pay raise. My next door neighbors told me he got a 25% pay raise. So it's not like I'm going to come in and fix it all. But we want to make sure that our officers know that we love them, we support them, we appreciate them, we need them, they are vital. And it's not that we need less police, we need more engagement in public safety and more visibility, such as maybe just, opening up little district police stations so that we have throughout the city in some of the high crime areas where there's some at-risk behavior and some public safety concerns. Well, let's open up little local police stations, substations, so that when you have a presence, scientifically proven, mathematically, to lower the crime rate in those regions. So that's something that we've had in the past. It went away during budgetary concerns. Let's bring it back. If that's what the council members want, if that's what the citizens want, let's be responsive.
And switching gears a little bit now to homelessness, of course, another big issue in the city. You've had a lot of dealings with that in the county seat. The city spends millions of dollars each year on that issue. What do you think the city is not doing, or what would you like to change?
Well, again, the big pivot has to be away from the let's get the government money for the housing first solution. And they come up with a strategic plan of, we need 200 more shelter beds. Like, wait, hold on a second. We have over 2,000 unsheltered homeless, and you want to open up 200 shelter beds? What about the other 1,800? This is when they did the point in time count. So I was like, that doesn't work for me. So I went and I looked at this. I took a dive into it as supervisor and chairman of the board, and we came up with a shelter first approach so that we have a place. Let's meet the Boise, Idaho 9th Circuit Court decision so that we have an alternate location and bed with support services. There are local nonprofits, there are faith-based organizations. We've got incredible programs already in place. Let's facilitate their success in the outreach and getting people on board and bring them into support services so that this humanitarian crisis that it is isn't going away by itself. So let's address it. Let's put it this way. Would we leave an abandoned dog next to a roadway, and the dog may be aggressive, the dog may be defensive, the dog may be skittish to death? The dog is going to be going through food insecurity, it's going to have some behavioral issues, it's going to have trust issues, all sorts of things. But we would go out of our way to bring that dog away from that danger and that insecurity and that risky environment, right? Well, if we wouldn't leave an abandoned animal roadside, why would we leave a human being? It's not even a compassionate thing to consider. Like, this is where they want to be, therefore they should be there. No, this is not okay to be there, causing personal safety, the safety and well-being of individuals, property damages. When we build a sidewalk and the public pays for it, that's not for camping. That's for right-of-way. That's for walking. That's for utilizing in a neighborhood. So let's reclaim our streets. Let's have safe sanctuaries for people to go to so that they're regionally located in all of our major cities. We're not transplanting anybody, but let's get them into support services. This is a vital key that has worked elsewhere that we're going to adopt here.
So the shelter first approach, like you were talking about.
100% shelter first approach versus the housing first approach. We can address and take care of more people with support services than trying to house our way out of this, which, by the way, they never pay rent. There's about a 25 to 40% death rate within 5 years going into the shelter first plan. The housing first plan. So let's reverse that. Let's get them to support services where at the shelters, you have a concentration of services to help a person get to a better place.
And switching gears just a little bit, quality of life. A city survey conducted back in 2023 showed that 70% of people felt an excellent or fair quality of life here in Stockton. That 70%, is that number okay to you? And if not, how would you like that to be changed?
Well, we all deserve a quality of life that needs to be provided by your local governments, okay? You need to have good, clean, potable waters. You need to have your toilets working and such. But more important than that is, what is the quality of life? Is there parks to go to? Is there recreation? Is there family entertainment? And the answer is no. We don't have miniature golf that we used to have. We don't have drive-in theaters that we used to have that families could pile up in the car and go to, right? So what could we do? And there are things that we can do regionally throughout this county. We've got Van Buskirk Golf Park that is shuttered. There's some plans to do something. Well, let's look at those. Let's talk to the city council members from that region. How's that going to positively affect? How can we make an investment so that we have maybe a public pool, maybe we have a water park, maybe we have levels of recreation that can be regional and family participants. I remember as a kid going to Lincoln Center and there was a metal slide. For $2, you got a potato sack and 10 rides up and down the slide, right? It was fun. You had something to do. I believe we need to improve the actions and activities we have going on in this city of Stockton and let that permeate throughout the entire county. But let's focus on Stockton and the quality of life here.
We talked about quite a few issues there. Those are all, of course, big issues facing the city, but there are more too. What would be your top priorities as mayor?
Well, top priorities is building a coalition with the city council members, because if you think about north, south, east, and west, we have different regions and different needs and different challenges, different concerns. So, and some of them are universal. So let's focus on that which we do agree upon. What can we identify is going to make a difference? And again, you're looking at public safety. You're looking at addressing that which is most apparent, and you're looking at the unsheltered homelessness and that blight. You're looking at what's the environment for work. I hear a lot of people talk about getting approval and permits, and working with the city planning department is an arduous, lengthy process. Time is money. Let's enhance and facilitate businesses opening up so we create more jobs. When we create more jobs, we can build a better economy. And for me, the most important thing is facilitate success. Now, as a mayor, I have to represent the entire city of Stockton. That means building a coalition and working relationships with all the 6 city council members, and including our city manager, so that there's a synergy of what we can do. Let's not focus on what divides us. Let's focus on what we are united about and providing a quality of life that we all deserve.
It sounds like a lot of that could be done through cutting red tape for business owners.
Much of it, absolutely. I mean, time is money. So how are we going to facilitate success to address the challenges that are in front of us?
One of the things that people might notice that kind of sets you apart in the race is you're a pretty familiar face among voters, having run successful, unsuccessful campaigns in the past. You're mentioning 7 years on the Board of Supervisors. What makes this campaign, this position, this time different?
Well, I don't think there's any difference. In fact, that's why I'm running to be mayor. Okay, we have 2 term limits. 8 years, I'm done as the county supervisor. So what's on my plate? What's yet to be accomplished? Okay, and if we look at the vocational job training program that I'm now bringing together with public and private sector partners, so that's on the plate right now. Well, if I term out in 7, 8, 10 months from now, is that complete? No, it's not. I'm very proud of partnering with Delta College. We did 1,000 jobs for 1,000 students, paid apprentice programs. That's thinking outside the box. I've seen video testimonies of how transformative this has been in young women's lives. And I'm proud of accomplishing that. That's something that I came up with the then president, Porzanjani at Delta College, so that I believe there's more we can do that's going to have a positive impact. Vocational education, addressing and fulfilling this crisis for the homeless, unsheltered, is a major one that needs to be completed. We have got to protect our Delta. I'm on the Delta County Coalition. We've got fantastic momentum with Metropolitan Water for a one California water approach, not north versus south. There's so many things that I have in motion now that I feel as though there's more to get done, and that's why I'm running for mayor, because of the results I've had and the actions that are underway right now for even more positive results. To ultimately, Gabe, the big challenge for me has always been change the trajectory. How are we getting better? And that's been my driving force. Us business people, when we talk about results, here's how we think. Let's get acclimated, let's get educated, and let's take action. Bureaucrats and lawyers will spend a lot of time having meetings and discussions. Now, you need to have a coalition, you need to have support, you need to have a consensus, and you need to work together. But you need to be decisive. You need to get things done and bring in that coalition of support to accomplish and get results. The people, we all work for the citizens. They want results. They're done with talk. We've talked about the issues enough. What results will be measurable? And that's what I'd like to focus on.
Sounds like I said, there's more action, more work to be done.
There it is. Yeah.
Final question, why should people vote for you?
Again, results. I am the person with the track record. A lot of people work with staff, as I do. A lot of people follow staff, as may be proper. But not a lot of people lead staff. And I've been very proud to bring things forward to the Board of Supervisors. I've challenged the bureaucracies in Sacramento. I've challenged our local bureaucracies to open up and facilitate business expansion and created thousands of jobs right here. I challenged all the Grubhub and all of the food delivery services during COVID. They were charging businesses 40% during COVID for delivery. Imagine 40% of their ticket went to the delivery services. I got that down to 10%. During the emergency crisis. That kept businesses alive. That's a businessman taking action that's decisive and a definitive difference in outcomes of businesses existing and jobs being created or not. So you have to challenge the status quo. And I'll be honest, sometimes I ruffle feathers, right? There's absolutely, without question or doubt, I like to challenge the status quo. What are we going to do different, better, or more of it to make a difference? And that has been a defining, I believe, difference between myself and my competitors that have been in city council for years. To what result? Name 3 things that you pioneered, spearheaded, and got 4 votes for. I can name 25 to 30 that just because of me, that happened working in partnership with the board. I'm not a one-person army. You have to build the coalition and support it. And if it's a good idea, you move it forward. I reinvented and recreated the wine ordinance in Lodi in the county. That enhanced jobs and built out opportunity for businesses to succeed that were struggling, and we would have lost jobs. Instead, they've expanded jobs over in that region. That's thinking outside the box, listening to the businesses and being adaptive to their needs. That's the difference between myself. I signed the front of checks. Not one other candidate that's running for office of mayor has signed the front, has made a payroll for the last 10, 15, 20 years. During that time, I've put probably $15 million into our local economy through commerce and employment. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of my relationships with hundreds of businesses. The results have been the support I've received, and I believe a pathway to success as the next mayor will be dependent on those partnerships, both public and private.
All right, well, thank you for your time and for joining us today.
My pleasure, and I'm proud of you, and I'm glad to see the city of Stockton. We are on the cusp of great and fantastic expansion, growth, and opportunity. And I want to see that anchored in downtown Stockton, which I'm working right now on a plan that's coming forward, and it's really quite fantastic. I'll just put it that way. But we really have a great opportunity. We have opportunity knocking on our door. This region is about to open up with a fantastic transformation. I will be part of that, and I'm going to be proud to be the mayor of Stockton leading the way.